So, okay, that's enough. I'm tired of, well, I hardly ever get tired of hearing myself talk, but I like to pretend I do. So, Doug Young, all right. Let's figure out how this thing works. That feels better. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
How many people weren't here last year? All right, so some new faces. So, but some of you I know. I know you. Where do I know you from?
From a video.
Ah, okay.
I'm from Seattle, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It was great to see all the videos. I watched, I think I watched every one, unless you snuck some others up in the last few days. So, got to see you all play. That was great. So yeah, we'll do my theme, like last year, will be talking about alternate tunings. And but I thought I'd start out this year with something simpler and start with drop D, and sort of go through sort of the process of thinking about an alternate tuning, and also I think a theme I want to push on this time a little bit is trying to get people feeling comfortable moving all up and down the neck. You know, sort of not being locked into one position. Some of you are, some of you aren't. And the cool thing about alternate tunings is it becomes really easy to move around. It's kind of boring to sit in one spot and do stuff in alternate tunings, but as you move around, it gets a lot more fun. So I'll sort of introduce all that really gently tomorrow with drop D. And then, what day's tomorrow? Friday? So then the next day will be Saturday. And see, you've been here, you're all burnt out. I just got here and already I'm not sure what day it is. And then we'll do Dadgad and talk about some things there on Saturday. So I will kick off with, I'll play you a couple tunes of mine, do a couple arrangements here, something you might recognize, and play you a few tunes. I'll start off in Dadgad. a tune of mine. I call it the Seagull because I'm already changing tunings. I came up with that doing a review for Acoustic Guitar Magazine some years ago. You do all these reviews for, I haven't been doing as many lately, but some of you have probably seen videos and things that I do. So they, a new guitar, a new amp or something comes in, and they would send me a script and say, do a demo of this thing, and play a 20-second doodle, and then introduce this, and then show off this feature and do a 20-second doodle. So I had all these 20-second doodles, and I had a couple of the licks out of that thing that I used while I was demoing a Seagull Mariner guitar. And the weird thing is that shortly after I put the review out, I started getting email from people asking me for the tab for these little licks that I basically made up like right on the spot, right before the tape was rolling. So I thought, okay, I guess I better dig those up and put them all together. So I just sort of glued everything together and turned it into a tune. So this is. So all I did here was drop from Dadgad down to, drop my A string down to a G. And so it's either, you can either think of it as Dadgad with the G in the bass or in the fifth string instead of an A, or you can think of it as open G with an A string here instead of a B string. So it's a little bit sort of I don't know, what's that sound like? Kind of nothing very exciting. But it's a kind of a nice tuning because I like to play a lot in G and Dadgad, and in Dadgad to play G you got to play the G note here, and it's kind of a stretch. So it's like, hey, I'll just make an open G, and it makes everything much easier, which will be another theme we'll talk about in classes tomorrow. Half the thing with open tunings, alternate tunings, is just don't work so hard. Make things easy for yourself, So this is a little tune that I was fiddling with for a long time, and it didn't have a name, and I kept having this feeling that it was kind of a, I don't know, fall theme, like I was out driving in the country or something like that, but I couldn't put a finger on a name. And finally I was playing it at a concert, and somebody wrote on a napkin. I said, I don't have a name for this, and somebody sent a napkin up and said Autumn Roads. I said, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. So this is Autumn Roads. Sometimes take a long time to write, and sometimes just take a long time to find the name for them. Thank you. See, I just can't resist changing tunings every time. This is a new guitar. I'm still getting used to it. It's funny how just little things, you know, they all got the same neck and everything, but you pick up a different one and somehow it feels very different. I got this one used. It's a individual luthier named Bill Wise. And just, I don't know, I saw it used and it was a good price and I couldn't resist. So I thought, what better than to bring it down here and make mistakes on it here and get used to it. Here's a Beatle tune. Thank you very much. It's fun to arrange Beatle tunes. There's so many great tunes, and you can just keep going on and on with them. So somebody asked me about this little guy, and I brought a very similar guitar to this last year, and I don't think I ever played it, but I had it hanging around all camp last year. That was prototype number 1. It was an idea of making a high-pitched 12-string guitar. So this is about equivalent to the 5th fret right here. So it's as if I had a 12th fret that was capo 5, but it's also a little tiny thing, doesn't weigh much. The top wood is a wood called Polonia. It's it grows in Singapore. So it's an unusual wood for a guitar. And so we made the first prototype. I thought it was pretty cool. The luthier said, oh, I can do better than that. And so he made a second version. And this is it. And actually, the first version we had tuned in unison tuning. All the strings were unison. This one's tuned like a regular 12-string. And I keep meaning to try the other way around. I could just restring it unison, but so far I just love it the way it is. Haven't had the courage to try to restring it and put a new bridge on it and stuff. But cool little thing. So I'll do a little tune that I wrote on it. I sort of thought it was like a little music box. I wrote a little tune called The Music Box. How are we doing on time? What time is it?
Thursday.
What's that? What is it? Oh, I should probably wrap up here. Let me play you one more tune, then we'll get Dave up here. So besides Beatles tunes and other pop tunes, I like just arranging traditional songs. So you get a lot of just this wealth of material. In fact, I've got a new book out there. I've only got a couple copies called Arranging Fiddle Tunes in Dadgad. So it's old Irish and Scottish fiddle tunes. And there's just millions of them. So, you know, if you sit there and say, oh man, I don't know how to write a song. Well, there's just all these songs out there waiting. They have great melodies. They're so good they've lasted hundreds of years, thousands of years in some cases. And so you can arrange them and, you know, make good music out of them. This one's fairly well known. This is a Scottish tune called Jock o' Hazeldean. Sir Walter Scott wrote words to this, I believe. And I think I probably had to learn it in junior high poetry class or something like that. But it's a great tune. That's the note that driving me nuts. Ah, God, it's gotten worse. You know. This is. You know what you do is you pick the string that's out of tune, and you tune all the rest of them to it. Thank you very much. I'll look forward to seeing you all early tomorrow morning.
Ooh.